Hello everyone and welcome back to another gaming news video. My name is Brian if you happen to be new to the channel, but if you're part of the 69,185 of y'all who've recently subscribed to the channel, thank you guys so much for this insane level of support. We've got a lot to talk about. There's a lot of developing news as it relates to Xbox, Microsoft, CMA, and Activision Blizzard, and with Gamescom kicking off today, I'm sure there's going to be even a lot more news to cover. So if you guys like video game videos, stick around. This is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. But let's not waste anybody's time. Lots of news stories. This is somewhat related, but I think this is perhaps one of the most exciting things for me to share with you guys. Microsoft's PC Game Pass arrives for NVIDIA GeForce Now this week. If you guys don't know, I love GeForce Now. I'm not sponsored or affiliated with that service at all, but it is one of my go-to gaming services as a dad. And with somebody who has a Logitech G Cloud, also not sponsored, I absolutely use this service all the time. And adding in my Game Pass PC to this service is going to be great. Now, just for all of Betty's same notes, we're on the same page here. Not all of the games are fully going to be supported just yet. You're going to see that continually roll out with a little bit of time, but the fact that these are two getting connected makes it very exciting for me to see, and I cannot wait to play. Now, I'm personally hoping Halo Infinite makes its way onto GeForce Now because it's going to give me more places that I can play around the house when my kids have taken over the television. So I'm very excited to see how that goes. But you probably didn't click on here for my thoughts on GeForce Now, but if you stuck around through them, thank you freaking legends. Microsoft is going to sell off Activision cloud gaming rights to Ubisoft in bid for UK approval is the structure of the news post. Now, I want to go through this post with you guys in a lot of details just so you have the full context of what this means, but this isn't a bad thing. This is structured, though, in a weird way because Brad Smith goes and announced today that we submitted a restructuring proposal to the CMA for approval from Activision Blizzard acquisition under the UK law. The new proposal also honors the prior commercial and regulatory commitments. And what this does, though, Jez believes that this might kick off a whole other thing that the CMA didn't even accept the restructure. They are now going to investigate with the October deadline, pushing us back forward to October the 18th. Is the cutoff before they have to, will they, won't they? And my personal take on all of this is let's just get to a resolution, and that's just my ultimate hope to see with that there. But we still got a lot to talk about. Destin tweets out, hot take, Ubisoft proposal for the CMA is ridiculous. The block never made sense, and the block now still won't make sense. The CMA only has succeeded in making it super annoying for Xbox fans in Europe to use the cloud. Now, Destin later goes on to clarify, and I don't actually have that art asset for the tweet, but overall, this doesn't mean that Activision Blizzard games aren't going to be available as a part of Game Pass, as a part of the xCloud system in the UK. It just means that Ubisoft is going to also be able to offer those games. And my take on all of this is it's really positive for the community. This is really, I believe that games really should be everywhere. And I understand, obviously, that exclusives sell platforms, but when you start to get into the service space, this is my dream for what gaming could become at some point in the future, where once you take exclusives off the table, you actually start competing on the quality of the service, the price of the service, and I think that is better for gamers in the long run. Imagine being able to sit here and invest in an ecosystem because it's the best thing for you price-wise, support-wise, service-wise, as opposed to feeling like you got locked in because there's a game that you've appreciated for the last 30 years and they decided to make it exclusive to a certain platform, and that doesn't necessarily feel good. It doesn't feel good in the gut of the situation. But I get that people love their teams, and I get that people are always going to be rooting for that. But for me, just like with GeForce Now, just like with this, all right, put the games, let people play the games. And if they want to be subscribed, they want to buy the games, those are game sales. The economics of it for me, and again, you're welcome to disagree, and I always welcome in disagreement here at the channel. It's something to be excited and explore about. But that's the news as this story develops, as obviously Gamescom kicks off this afternoon. I do have a really awesome, hopeful video for you guys about Starfield later. There's so much going on in that space. So as a content creator, as a gamer, today's a really good day. It's a really, really good day. But with that, I'm going to say class dismissed. If you guys are new to the channel, this is where I dive into y'all's comments on what you're talking about, and anything is on the table. So if you're easily offended, this isn't necessarily a segment for you. this is my call to let you guys know it's okay to go ahead and leave the video, and hopefully I wish you guys all the best, and hopefully I'll see you next time. But we got one comment for Class Dismissed here today. Glass says, as a new subscriber, I'd love the genuine openness of the channel. No excuses or an apology. Just great content and open points of view. Keep up the great work. Just hope Starfield lives up to the expectations. I think from everything we keep seeing, and spoiler free here, Starfield is going to be incredible. Like, I think it's going to be one of those core moments in gaming history, much like there's just a handful of moments, right, where you end up having like, holy smokes. Like Oblivion as an example, even Oblivion's horse armor is an example. Like Oblivion in a way checks off two boxes. Coming from the PS2 and the Xbox era into the 360 era, into the PS3 era, like that felt like a massive leap. And one of the views that I have and I continue to hold is that what we're up against within the console space right now is a problem of economic viability. We do not seem to have the ability to make things more powerful at a cost structure. And this is massive economic and geopolitics all en route, like getting the material to make the products, and you have these companies with shortages bidding and bidding and bidding on each other, driving the price up. While I am not worried about the next generation of consoles, I am worried about how gamers receive the next generation of consoles and how big of a step up those might be. I think Nintendo actually, in a weird way, is best positioned than any other company out there with their lineup and IP and with the success of the Mario movie. But beyond just that alone, with the jump to Switch 2, which we've all been anxiously waiting for, it doesn't have to try and compete in the same field as what Sony and Microsoft are doing. They're trying to bring that premium experience to a console experience, where when you start to see the premium experience shifting more and more and more to PC gaming versus that of the consoles, and the consoles are just... And the strength is here from a developer's perspective is it's easier to develop for consoles, because it's a ecosystem. Every Xbox is an Xbox. Every PlayStation 5 is a PlayStation 5. And you can argue the Xbox Series S, but I don't buy into that from an architectural perspective. I do understand the power throughput, but those, in my mind, are like, again, amps and volts. Big differences, same... convenient bundle that we're trying to kind of relate it to make it easier to discuss and debate. But anyway, thank you, Glass. Thank you to all the new subscribers here. I appreciate all of y'all for just hanging out, especially for the Class Dismissed sections. I have a spicy one for you guys in the next video, and I hope that you guys stick around for that too, but I understand if you don't. Thanks, guys, for joining me today. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video, but until then, take care.